Database and SQL fundamentals. There are many kinds of different databases. For example, like well-known Microsoft SQL Server, which uses own TSQL or Transact SQL language. Oracle, very famous one, which developed PLSQL or programming language SQL. MongoDB, which uses JSON kind of format called BSON, and PostgreSQL, which uses both like normal SQL for normal databases and in JSON format. The foundation for all databases, it's mandatory to know simple SQL, original structured query language. SQL is a structured query language used to access and manipulate variety of databases. SQL is officially accepted standard by the American National Standard Institute. What SQL language is used for with databases? The answer is for everything, like create new database, create tables in a database, insert or populate records in a database, update specific records in a database tables, retrieve record dataset from a specific database table, execute complex queries against a database or tables, create views in a database, create stored procedures which are using parameters in a database. That's permissions on table, procedures, and views. I mean grant permission or alter permission. Delete records from a database or table, and finally delete the database itself. Let's take a quick look at Microsoft SQL Server. Microsoft SQL Server is a proprietary relational database management system developed by Microsoft. The abbreviation is well known, RDMS. Microsoft SQL Server is a software product with function to store and retrieve data requested by other software applications. For example, Microsoft SQL Server is the backend, and there is some web application as front end, which is requesting information or supplying information from and to Microsoft SQL Server. Microsoft markets many different editions aimed at different audiences and for workloads, starting from small-size companies to large-size internationally acknowledged. Microsoft developed SQL procedural language used to SQL Server to declare variables, handle error exceptions, control different transactions, and some raw processing. Let's take a look at similar Oracle database. Practically same. Oracle database is proprietary RDMS developed by Oracle Corporation. Oracle DB is a software product with functions to store and retrieve data requested also by other software applications, different types. Oracle DB markets many different editions aimed at different audiences and for workloads starting from small to huge size companies. Also, you might download like MS SQL Server, Oracle DB as a community editions. Oracle developed PLSQL procedural language used with Oracle DB to declare variables, handle error exceptions, control transactions, and raw processing. It's like programming language, also it's called procedural language. MongoDB, interesting one. MongoDB is a document database and stores data JSON type format named BASIN. MongoDB record is a key value pair structured document and can include number, string, booleans, arrays, and other data types or even nested documents. Look at this example. This is kind of bank record, bank customer record, for example. As you can see, it has all the records and address as nested document. PostgreSQL. PostgreSQL, known as Postgres, is a free and open source powerful relationship database management system, emphasizing extensibility and SQL compliance with proven architecture for strong reputation for reliability, data integrity, and correctness. All SQL, PostgreSQL, like all SQL others like MS SQL, PL/SQL, and all others, all SQL are categorically divided into 5 major divisions. DDL, data definition language, you define. DQL, data query language. DML, data manipulation language, for example, like update statement. Then data control language, DCL, and transaction control language, TCL. 5 major division categories. The major foundation is kind of mandatory to know to everybody who works in IT industry is SQL select statement. The select statement comes with some optional clauses. First of all, select table name or list of columns from table name, and you can assign an alias. From specifies from which table to get the requested data. Where specifies data conditions, specific ones. After where you might add and or and or extra data conditions. Then comes group by, aggregate functions for rows sharing a property, having selects among the groups defined by the group by clause. First you group and then having among these groups. And finally order by, specify how to order the returned rows, for example ascending or descending.